The third thing that we're going to do from a sales perspective, from building your business perspective, somebody comes into the business and they say, I'd like to make a couple $1,000s a month. What do I do? Prior to the leadership experience, I'm not sure how anybody explained that. I mean, you know, I think sometimes it's almost like we cha-cha, you know, to get in the way of ourselves. I mean, we overcomplicate things, and not you. I'm talking about the corporation. I mean, when I first came back and I looked, and they're good programs. Not that any of the programs were bad. It's just, why would you have this program where you have to stand on one leg, jump through a hoop, and you earn $300 worth of product, or you could choose this, or you could choose that. And then this program over here, sell 1,500, sponsor one person, get 15,000 points, and you get this over here. And then, why would we not make this simple, cohesive, so that in about 30 seconds or less, when somebody says, I'd like to make a couple $1,000s a month. I'd like to promote the director. Can you tell me how to do these things? And that's what we've done with the leadership experience. Now, we've introduced a new Success Start program. We've introduced a new gas program, a fuel program. I've been told many times I've got to use the word fuel. We've introduced a new fuel program, and we've introduced what we're calling a Trailblazer bonus program at the director level. Here's the first thing you got to understand. You'll learn the details and the knit and grit over time. The good news is what every consultant needs to do to be successful is they've got to learn how to do 4 parties a month. A party a week makes life so sweet. That will bring you about $2,000 worth of sales in a month. You say, well, Jerry, how did you come up with the $2,000 in sales? Did you just magically pick that out of the air? And probably based on some of the past decisions I've made, that's a legitimate question. So here's how we came up with that. Very first and foremost, we have an average party of $500. It's actually over 500, but again, work with round numbers here. I'm not a mathematician off the top of my head. Our average party is $500. So when we figured asking somebody to do a party a week, that's manageable. One of the reasons people will not join a direct selling company is because they think that what's one of the biggest objections you hear? I don't think I'm going to have enough time. And that's legitimate. It was legitimate back in the 60s, 70s. But think about how it's amazing with all these time-saving devices. How do we not have all this time on our hands? But we're spread thin. That people do want to make more income. They want to supplement their income, but they don't want to work an extra 40 hours on top of an already busy life. So what we needed to do as a corporation is we needed to give them a business plan to run on, a track to run on, that in their minds, now they may not be able to do it right out of the gate. I mean, it's easy to sit there and say a part of week makes life so sweet. They may not be able to do it right out of the gate, but here's what they will be able to do. In their minds, they can see themselves doing it. If a person does not think that there is a chance to do something, they never even start. It's why when we introduce the travel incentives, 15,000 points over the course of X number of months. If somebody at the beginning of that, if you introduce that, and they look at that and they say, there's no way I could do it, they won't try. One of the things that all direct sales companies have got off the rails on is they have not made it believable that I can work 15 hours, maybe 20 hours in a week, 15 hours, and be able over the course of a year make an extra $2,000 a month. But when you say to somebody who's looking at your business, do you think an evening away from your home, one evening a week, do you think you can find time for that? If they say no, you still welcome them in. They'll want to do 1 or 2 parties. But if they say yes, now all of a sudden, the one thing we want to get them doing first, it's in their mind. So when they say, well, what do I do first? You've got to learn how to book 4 parties a month. Well, I'm not sure I can do that. Well, we're going to work together to do that. So the first month, they go out, they try their best, and they come up with 1 party. Well, they're 1 party ahead than they were before. But even if they struggle with getting to that 4 number, they book 1, then the next month they have 2, and then they get 1. Guess what? They're always only 1 or 2. They're always only 2 parties away from getting to that 4th. They'll continue on. It's the psychology of direct sales. If somebody believes they can do it, guess what? They'll keep trying to do it. It's when they stop believing that they can do it. It's when you stand up there and say, well, you got to have 8 parties a month if you want to be successful with this. There's 8 parties a month. You know, go pound sand. I mean, that's a lot of time. You got to figure with your calls, your coaching, the setup, the deliver, the order taking, it's a lot of time to do 1 party. And here what we've done is we've removed that. So the idea is $2,000 a month. So somebody comes in, they don't have to learn all the knit and the grit and detail right away. Because you know what? A confused mind does nothing. I'm telling you, a confused mind does nothing. So they say, well, what do I need to do? Got to learn how to book 4 parties a month. So now they're in the business. They built up their skills. They're booking 4 parties a month. Now they're attracted to the business. And they say, well, I want to be a director. Because director is where the program gets lucrative. Director is where you can make a couple $1,000s a month with about 15 to 20 hours a week worth of effort into your business. So they say, I want to be a director. What does it take to be director? Well, before the leadership experience, that training sort of went, well, you got to have a group of about 30 to 40 people that have got to be able to get to 30 to 40 people. Most people can't see them sponsoring 3 to 4 people, yet alone building a team of 30 to 40. No wonder we've had people run for the hills. No wonder we've had people not want or try to be director. So here's the new plan to get to director. You ready? Somebody says, well, I want to be a director. Well, first, what do you got to learn how to do? Party a week. You got to learn how to do $2,000 a month personally. Next, go find 4 people to do the same thing. Now, all of a sudden, the light bulb goes on. It's 4. Now, granted, to get to the 4, they're probably going to have to build a group of 10. But you brought it down to a manageable, believable idea. And guess what? Because it's manageable and believable, they are going to go out and they're going to try to do it. And when they try it, I'm telling you, if you try this business and you work at this business, you will get better and better and better. The challenge is people get in and it gets too cumbersome, it gets too overbearing. They get this, they get that, they get this, they get that, and all of a sudden they're like, they don't know what to do. They're a ship without a rudder. Somebody gets them going down this rabbit hole, then they pull them out of here and they get them going down. The only rabbit hole you need to go down is party a week, $2,000 a month. You learn how to do that and you teach others how to do that. That profoundly simple plan, coupled together with Bill Shaw's vision of taking social media and allowing it to make your business absolutely different than all other direct sales companies. And it's not only in the difference, but allowing you to be able to build customer loyalty, reach more people, and be able to earn income off of that. You have the absolute right company at the right place in time. Now, it's going to take work. We need, here's the bottom line. Most direct sales companies, if your vice president was standing up here and you were with another direct sales company, most people would say, you need us. You're in debt, you need us. You need to be able to make more time. I mean, a lot of direct sales companies, their pitch is like, you've got it all wrong in your life, and we're going to fix that. Well, that's not the pitch here at Wilhelmus. What I'm going to say to you right now is what you will never hear from another direct sales company, or at least most direct sales companies, I should say. We need you. We need you. We need you to give up an evening a week and go out and share this message with people. The greatest idea and the greatest opportunity to help people doesn't mean a hill of beans without people that are going to go out and help us spread that news. Bill Shaw's vision that can change, and let me tell you something. If you don't think there are people that are kneeling down beside their bed every night praying for an extra $500 a month, you're wrong. Or you're living in fantasy land. There are millions upon millions of Americans that kneel down beside their bed every night and pray for an extra $500 a month. And we have a way, forget the $1,000 to $2,000 a month, we have a way to show them $500 almost from their very first month of business. But that doesn't mean a hill of beans. Our good opportunity, our wonderful products, and our wonderful plan, it doesn't mean a hill of beans without you. We need good people. And here's the last thing I'll say. When you decide that you're really on board, when you decide that you're going to take up the challenge and you're going to go for that $2,000 a month, remember this. Here's the other thing we need from you. And I can't create this. Bill can't create this. Robin can't create this. But we need you guys, and I sensed it here tonight, but we need to keep spreading that, is that, you know, we need a little heart and soul in this business. We need people to have fun with this business. The last thing anybody needs is another something that they're doing that doesn't bring them joy. I can't create a program that creates that. We can't stir together a little formula together and make that happen. We can't, you know, give you Prozac every time you come to a meeting. You know, right? Why not? Right, exactly. I am a doctor, but I'm a doctor of direct salesology. That's what my PhD is in. But we just need people having fun together. And yeah, we'll take our business seriously because that's how you earn income. But we need heart and soul. We need to hear about running out of the gas, and we need to hear about it felt good when somebody said congratulations. That is important. These are the intangibles that your company cannot produce. So again, not only do we have the greatest components together, but they don't mean a hill of beans without you. And then guess what? This doesn't mean a hill of beans if we don't bring some heart and soul to this business. If we don't have fun doing it. And I know you'd say the same thing in Entertain at Home, but I can only speak from my experience of Southern Living at Home. What really drove that business? Because certainly it had great products, and we have great products here. And certainly it had a great plan. We have a great plan here. So what was the difference between now and, well, that was a little more complicated, but somehow we still got it done, is these women went forward and had fun doing it. There was none of the competition with it. Then when they got together, man, they just enjoyed being with each other. And when they met somebody new and got stranded in the Birmingham, Sheridan with new people, it didn't matter because it was an opportunity to meet new people and be with new people. So anyway, here's my little challenge. And those of you on the phone, you need to make sure, and Nancy, I'm going to ask you to do this.
Okay.
You guys need to make sure you get your names and ID numbers, and make sure you all leave your names and ID numbers with Nancy, because I want you to understand how much I believe the time is now, and I want you to remember that too. So here's my little incentive, since you guys made time to be part of this meeting tonight, whether it was on the phone or being here. Here's the deal. On page 40 or 41, there is the Maribel clock. You know, the little green clock?
Marisol.
The little, what is it?
Marisol?
Marisol, you know, it's the clock. It's the little green
one
clock.
or the big one?
The green one.
The table.
Oh, the little.
The little green clock
40.
on page 40.
Here we go.
So here's the deal.
You're right, Maribel.
Nancy is going to get all your names and ID numbers, and I hope those of you on the phone, I hope the list doesn't go from 7 to 40. Here's my little challenge to you, to remember that the time is now. Anybody that sells $2,000 in the month of February is going to get one of those little clocks on behalf of your vice president, because you took up the challenge that the time is now. We want you to think about that. We want you to set that on your desk, and we want you to remember when you look at that clock, not only that the time is now, but that we need you and we need your heart and soul in this business.